Here we go!
Warning. Structural integrity failing. Emergency resuscitation of all personnel initiated. Exit this facility and report to Production Terminal Lima.
A little bit, factory example there. Of course, it's not working. It's been dropped on with rocks and whatnot. Not gonna lie, I have played this before. Some things have changed. They have put out a new update and everything. Go.
Hello? Can you hear me? Your suit can't transmit a voice or ID signal, but my sensors are indicating you're out there. First things first, check in at that production terminal. I need a second set of eyes on how badly damaged it is.
Well, sure thing, random voice in my head. We'll get right on that. This little daily bop here is effectively research, where it unlocks research. There's a bunch of them hidden throughout the map. Yeah, I can't pick it up until you get a scanner, though. Which we'll be getting here in a few moments. I just wanted to get all the chests and things.
Mining drills were the only buildable tech I could recover. Try crafting a few with materials from some of the chests around here.
Gonna make a couple of them. R to rotate. That as tight in as I can.
Mining drill. Must be built at an ore vein and fueled with plant matter.
I want that one over, so I'm not going to put it there. Oh yeah. Forgot. Got to fuel it with plant matter. Let's go ahead and actually get a bit more of this stuff. Comes from pretty much anything and everything that grows. Some plants do give extra resources, mostly those ones that were glowing and with vines and stuff. They're Kindle Vine. There's a blue one that gives like a blue type of seed. These things, you can't pick them as such, but you can destroy them. They have health. It's down there in the bottom left. I'm going to leave that because it's scannable. The mushrooms, the grass on the cave ceiling, those are all pickable usually, but they just give plant fibers. Let's put down, it's over here. Going to want space like that. Area a bit. you get fuel. And you get fuel. We'll let those work a bit while we get some more plant matter, because you will need plant matter pretty much throughout the game, though you do get to where you can farm it at later points. And this purple grass right here is what I mean by grass on the roof. That is collectible. And it tends to be pretty plentiful. It comes in different colors like green and blue, the purple, kind of a reddish color. Overall, the visuals in this game are actually pretty cool. You'll see when we get to some of the later caves. Alright, this should have generated more than enough stuff for us. Perfect. Now we deposit it in the little daily bop here. New technology!
Good work getting that ore plugged into the terminal, Groundbreaker. If you weren't on my crew, you should have been. For the next phase of repairs, you're gonna need a scanner. The tech for it unlocked automatically when you fix this thing, so open up your crafting menu and build one.
That's gonna be under equipment. Craft one. We're gonna make those.
Task inbound. Scanner.
Now
Scan
that we have
machine
a scanner,
fragments to restore tech tree access.
go ahead and scan
Upgrade
this.
module scanned. Additional tech tiers or cores may be required. Open tech
You
tree
can
to
see
review.
what it unlocks at the top. Shows up briefly. So that one, tool belt 2, is what I unlocked. Alternatively, you can hit T to go to the tech tree, and you can view what tech is available for research. Now, research is done
Research
with
cores
these purple
required for
cores.
activation of new technologies.
There's different tiers of cores. There's the purple cores, there's the blue cores. You need a certain
Research
number
cores
of cores
constructed.
in the world
Smelter
in order
technology available
to...
for activation in tech tree.
Yes, thank you, game. In order to actually get this. Let's see, I have to... Oh yeah, right. Some machines you have to actually scan in the world. If you've already unlocked a tech, it will actually just give you components. Oh, that's taking a lot longer to scan than it used to. So, like, this is a smelter. And you'll notice I'm getting materials and scanning it. Now, normally, like scanning a mushroom like this, we'll just unlock information about it in the databank. Whereas with this, it actually gives me the item and a databank entry. So collecting these lights is actually pretty handy. Now, because I scanned all those smelters, I can now activate this, and now I can actually craft the
Technology
smelters.
activated. Proceed with construction of
What
smelter.
I'm going to do, though, is something you may not know if this is your first time playing it, or maybe even your second time. There's a way to get to that initial factory, and it's basically right here. It's hidden behind this wall. You just break it open a bit. Eventually, we get to this little tunnel. follow it for a little. And it's even lit up for us. Now, there's not a ton you can do in here. So, like, you can't pick up or take in much of this. Though anything that's broken, for example, like
You've activated the
this,
smelter tech, but you still need to build one and place it.
you can actually collect with the scanner. But only the broken stuff. Now, the only loot in here is going to be these, which this is a fuel you'll use later in the game. And I really kind of wish you could make use of machines, but you can't. We go down here. We can kind of mash E on the belt and collect anything that was on the belts. We'll get a good bit of the bio bricks. Didn't I get all those? I guess not. Alright. So with all that, and you can hit E on the inserter, or the sorter here. And you can collect what it's holding. And we'll get what's in the furnace right now. And like I said, there's not a ton we can do in here. This was about it. Because there's not a lot of actual broken stuff in here. There's not a lot of things we can pick up. There's nothing in these. I think technically we could use this. So like if we did this and then that, we can smelt. But we can make our own smelting setup. And this, that's an input right there. See there was supposed to be another sorter right over here, like if that would put it out to the second belt here and feed it into storage. That's just kind of how this thing was set up. But as you can see, it's definitely broken. And I'm just gonna take these back. I will let it use the fuel it's got. Just, you know, not be wasteful. Takes a bit. Arrange this. Alright, it's done with what it could make. Yeah, one commonality you'll find in this game is if it's not broken, and it was existing in the world before, you pretty much can't pick it up. So there's a bunch of different facilities you find throughout the game, and most of which you cannot pick up or make use of, but there are some things that you can scan and take. But mostly anything that's set up in a functional kind of pattern like that, like as if it was part of a factory, you pretty much can't touch. If it's in storage or something like that, then often you can scan it. And you pick that kind of stuff up from the world by scanning it. So you would never actually just like delete it or something. Like, let me show you. So there is a deconstruct mode. So you can see deconstruct erasing. None of this lets me deconstruct it. You access that by hitting F, by the way. Alright, these things are going to have a lot of resources in them. Alright, I want to be making things like it. Oh yeah, it won't let you do that by hand. I forgot. We want production. We'll do by now. And on my building bar. How do I want to set this up? Because I guess a temporary setup is fine.
Task inbound. Smelter. Supply with
Eventually, I'll want to make this kind of like a production area. Yeah, there was some inserter here. If there's anything else? Grab all that. We are, however, going to put down an extra miner. Your fuel. That. It will fill that. So while those are gathering, if you want to be productive, gathering fuel is always a good thing. And don't forget, you can scan all the things as well. Now, as I mentioned, scanning them just kind of gives you information in the data bank. Let's see, that was the journal. Here's the data bank. So it tells you how far you've explored or researched here. And like this is the mushroom here. Gives you a little bit of background on them. Already done that. Kindlevine. Scan this thing. Now, there's only a couple important resources to note in this game. We've already run into two, the iron, the copper. I guess the third could be a plant matter, but I'm talking like raw resources. This here is another one. So it is actually limestone. This is a mineable node, so you can set up a miner on it and draw from it. However, just digging in the world, like through the wall, like I did earlier, does generate some limestone, just not a ton. Your main source is going to be from actually putting up a miner on one of those nodes. From there, you can process it, and it goes into several different resources. Most notably now, they have added concrete to the game as some of the early game building materials. So that is of significant benefit to us, or at least it will be. So let's go ahead and grab all of this. You just want about 20, so upgrade.
Terminal upgraded. New technology and crafting schematics available.
Game. So it wants inserters, belts, containers, basically all the logistics type stuff. However, it would behoove us to set up some automation. Grab a bit of this, get rid of debris, anything that would be in the way, including this guy. Let's fill that back up while we're at it. So in this game,
Task inbound.
to fill
Conveyor
this
belt.
up,
Use conveyor belts to
put
build networks
this
between
like that,
machines.
and anything that's going in on this
Inserters are
belt
required to transfer
will be put
items
into
to and
there.
from conveyor belts.
The only thing that can be inserted are fuel and raw resource, or fuel. Sorry, a raw resource is your extract, which you slap one of these puppies on, like that. Which we're going to be doing like this. So these are going to be like that. And if you do R while you're building, you can rotate building, bring this across. We don't want that. Alright, what we want from here is actually something like this. Which it does that automatically, by the way. Just like that. And if we pull one of these, it will automatically put in a splitter. So this will automatically split evenly between the two belts. So with this extracting, well, I don't have as many belts as I want here. So we're going to have to collect, fill, collect and refill, and by the way, if I haven't mentioned it, it's tab to bring up your resources here, and right click makes I think it's like 4 or 5 of them at the same, yeah, it makes 5 at the same time. This dude. They have a lot of health. You do get a good chunk of plant matter from them, though. Alright. We're gonna bring this over. At least 2 more smelters for now. many logistic stations as we can get. It's close. Is that even? Yeah, it was. Just like that. And this one, hit R while not doing anything and it'll rotate. We want to insert. All right. Give you fuel for now. Take that. We're gonna make as many belts as we can. Go ahead and give those. It's a little bit of a setup here to get this going. I don't really need to empty those as much since it will auto insert. All right. Going to need at least one more of those. So let's make those. Inserting on there again. Why did you not? Sorry, thing. That is not what I wanted you to do. Alright, that's not gonna do what I want. We're gonna change it up a little bit. so one thing I could do is shorten this belt. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get resources while we can. We'll need plenty of those. So basically 4 of these I want to be for iron. The other 4 I want to be for copper. This is more like what I wanted it to do. Okay. You're gonna get all plant matter I've got. Which isn't admittedly a lot as of yet. We'll insert. Alright. So iron is all but taken care of. Now we just need to take the exports.
This is a great little factory breaker. If you took it all apart, you'd have most of what you need to deposit into the production terminal for the objective. Or you could keep your factory and build a whole new set of belts, inserters, and containers just for dumping into the
Yeah.
container. That's what I would do.
Just like that. And that should be able to keep up with the extraction there, in theory. It will help it out since there's a backlog. Alright, so we want to do basically the exact same thing, but to the copper side now. Guess it doesn't like that. That'll have to do. So those will be fueled. I should get more iron, because this is a very expensive thing. Alright, so this is going to be insert, extract, that. I have to change some of this up a bit. All right. Oh. There. That'll have to work. So that takes care of the ore input. And we need to get fuel down there. Oh, you sorry thing. You broke that? Really? Belts can be a little finicky in this game. Once you kind of learn how they automatically sort like that, it's a little easier. But it can still be frustrating at times. Why are you calling that invalid? Weird stuff. If the train's not working, force it. Alright, gotta go to here. Insufficient belts. Of course, I misplaced that. What's it there? No. Darn belt put me in the wrong place. There, that should be set up. Good. I was getting fuel too. Now we just have to worry about the extract for that, but let's put those in there. And we'll need to make sure to keep that full. I need more inserters. Now you do get faster inserters down the line, but that's a bit a ways from us. Wrong. Gotta make sure to leave the spacing. And I kind of like to cap them like this. So that is very basic early automation. Not yet very efficient. That. More belts, more inserters. Got the ore, we got that. Oh, we need another container. I thought it was one container, not two. My bad. Three. Four. I'm just gonna make it one more container. There we are. Now we can upgrade. Production Terminal Lima.
Beacons are back online. Inspect the radio console right next to the screen. It'll start beeping and blinking in 3, 2, 1.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Life sign.
Access to all local facilities should be restored, including the one I've been stuck in this entire time. I've set an unlock code to the door. I've got some tech you're gonna like, and I know you wouldn't dream of leaving without me anyways.
Let's go ahead and kill this because we get a couple thousand plant matter. Or not. We got a couple thousand from the one before. Oh, you know what? it reads off the number that you currently have. I forgot about that. We're going to take a detour first. This is kind of a side path you can explore. This game does reward exploration. In fact, it almost demands it. Did I scan that? Yeah, I did. Mostly it demands it because that's how you get the new blocks, the new research, and it's also just how you progress the story, to be perfectly honest. You just hold down E to gather. That's a quality of life change they made a patch or two ago. Before, you had to mash it, so you had to hit it on every single little thing that you wanted to pick up, and that was a bit of a nightmare. Kind of a bar to entry to some people, I think. We'll get that in a minute. I'm not going to bother getting everything, but as you can probably tell, plant matter is important. You need a lot of it. And we're not at the point where we can automatically farm it yet. Now this is one of the random things. You don't have to get it, but if you do, you get a little bit of story with it.
These were training and information terminals, Breaker. Scan them and then open up your databank to take a closer look at anything that hasn't been scrambled or lost.
More stuff is added to the databank. Anything you scan gets put into the databank, and it becomes something that you can look at and just kind of get a little background on. It's a good little thing if you're into the story. This... We're making our way toward that signal. This is where the signal's coming from. Go ahead and pick these up.
Sending that signal was more complicated than you think. I don't know why, but these computers feel like second nature now. Sort of the opposite of what I remember it being like. I'd be the one to get you out of a situation like this, instead of the other way around. But I'm not giving up. That's how I know it's still me in here.
Look for everything that's lootable. Like, we can't get in here yet. This is the way to go. All loot is pretty much going to be either in the form of a scannable object or those orange chests.
Casualties detected.
This is who we've been talking to. You'll notice it's been here a while. And this is where she is now.
What? You've never seen someone stuck inside an alien cube next to their own dead body before?
Nope. Can't say that I have.
Whatever I was trying to do here, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it didn't work out. Hopefully, it was worth a shot. Let's go.
This is getting in the way. Move the tablet. Alright. So yeah, this is the first bit of loot. This is the next tier of inserters that we can use. It's called a fast inserter. know you. You live in that state.
Stop. Scan the fragment in that cage by the stairs
Stop.
before we go.
It's hammer
We
time.
need that tech to get out of the sector.
If I had a hammer, I'd have whipped it out, but I don't. So I didn't. It wants me to scan these. It activates a mole technology and conveyor belt Mark II. These are just a bit of resources, some research components. You can think of Sparks as basically our companion cube for this journey.
Local signal deciphered. Sector headquarters. Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
Sounds like the terminal is fully rebooted. Check the radio console again and see if the beacon it adds to your HUD gives us a clear path home.
Just gather a bit on the way back. Now we'll be doing a good bit of exploring in the next section before we get to the base building. Just because there's a lot we can do before we move on. And before we kind of get roadblocked. These mushrooms can be a gold mine if you get a big cluster of them. Alright, that's good enough. We're gonna deposit. I did not mean to deposit sparks. Control click, by the way, moves everything of that type in there. So something to keep in mind. Good deal. Better deal.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Production terminal Victor.
We are going
Breaker,
to move
This
these.
is the time to activate the mole in your tech tree and build one. We won't be able to cut through to Sector Victor without it.
Oh, right. I forgot I have to research the mole first. Let's see. Tech tree. It'll be under terraforming. There we go.
Task inbound. Mole. Manipulates terrain for traversal and composition of industrial construction sites.
So you cannot move these initial 5. When you move them, you kind of go into a tech debt, and until that debt's repaid, you can't research new tech. But it allows you to move the spheres to a new location, which is very beneficial. So we're going to go equipment, we're going to get a mole, and we'll get the rest of these. Working out here, so let's see. We want to put you there. We're going to get Sparks, clear her off of there. Get inserter, that. So this is our main mining tool for just like clearing space. Incidentally, it does also gather resources.
Bulletin. This mole is not authorized to destroy resources,
Just like
critical
that.
infrastructure,
So you just
or
got plant
protected
matter and
environmental
limestone.
areas.
There are some things that it cannot destroy, just like it just said here. You'll notice a heat gauge going up. If you let it overheat, it takes a lot longer to cool down than if you stop before it gets to 100.
I never got the chance to thank you for getting me out of that facility. I appreciate it. At the time, it seemed like the best thing to do was focus on work and not get caught up in thinking about anything else. I've tried to stay sharp for both of us, but now that we're almost back to the main line, I'll admit it. I was terrified. It'll be good to see some friendly faces. And a few thousand twinkling lights. I'm sure you've got people there too.
Anyway. Like I said, there are some things it can't destroy. Like anywhere where there's water, for example, you'll find it only goes so far. And later in the game, you do get ways to mitigate the heat. It's not too far into the game, but farther than we are right now. And there's tech down the line that lets you further... Oh, here we go. I accidentally overheated it. You pretty much can't use it until it finishes cooling down fully. And there is tech later down the line that increases its efficiency, like how fast it goes, how cooling efficient it is, whatnot. And you hit M to bring up a seismic map. Or seismograph, I forget what it's called, but it's a map that lets you see height and things like that. We're almost at the height I think we want. I think maybe one more. This map is not procedurally generated. So it will be the same each time you play it. So do keep that in mind. Well, that is unless the devs change something. And what we're coming up to now is pretty much the main cavern. So it's what's going to function as the main hub for us for a while. And probably where you're going to end up building your factory. There we go. Finally breaking through.
I don't understand. A factory the size of a city is supposed to be here. It was right here. I know it was. Where is everybody?
I do have my own theories about what's going on the planet here. I will keep those to myself. Because if you want to play it, I don't want to spoil it for you any more than I am just by playing it. But it's a pretty interesting story, and I think it's a little more deep than some people think. Alright. Candlevine stems? Since when? I mean, you have to get a thresher to get...
This terminal is trying to
Candlevine
reach out to 100
stems.
facilities that might not exist anymore. If we can repair it, we might be able to decipher where those facilities are located. Our people are out there, just like we were.
Oh, there's a lot
I
of new
wouldn't
loot
ask you to
here.
rebuild this sector for the expedition, but I will ask you to do it for them. The faster we get on these signal and repair objectives, the better our chances of finding them will be. Right now, you should either get started on a local mining operation to make ingots, or start looking into how to make those Kindle Vine stems. If you check the chest near Victor, you might find enough power floors to decipher the first signal. We definitely need new types of machines to make the goods this terminal's looking for, and those signals seem like our best shot at finding them.
Yeah, these are materials from the new update, I believe. Not something super critical for us right now. Now, as you complete tasks, you get progression, basically, in the story. So it's something you have to pay attention to. This one will decode a signal by placing down power floors, which is weird, to be honest. It also wants crank generators. I don't think we can make the crank generators yet. Oh, yeah, we just need cores. Okay, that's not bad. What I'm gonna do, other than clearing the random junk that got on my toolbar, lay down some of these little puppies. Now, power is transmitted,
Task inbound.
I'd say, a little
Power
weirdly
floor.
in the game.
Build to establish structural foundation and conduct electricity from crank generators.
It's conducted through the floor. Every machine
Local
gets power
signal
through the floor.
deciphered. Ingress
You
RH1979.
can
Report to production terminal radio for triangulation.
transmit power through a wire between foundations. It's like a high voltage cable. But that doesn't give power to machines. It just gives power to other foundations. So you have to have a foundation powered up to be able to
Signal triangulated.
power a floor.
New location added to HUD. Exceptional dimensions.
Exceptional dimensions? Okay, whatever. So yeah, it looks like they've changed up the quest order a bit here. It didn't used to make you go there first. Granted, I usually did anyway, but that's beside the point. So this game is very much still under active development. They have a bunch of things planned. Well, I can get the lights in here. Alright. There's a bunch of little nooks and crannies like this in this game. What I'm gonna do, though, I think it's about here. There we go.
Hey, a battery pack. Sorry, an accumulator substation. I'll try to go easier on the recon slang. It might help you guess at what those signal names are short codes for. Accumulators won't matter for a while, but get in the habit of scanning anything and everything you find in places like these. It can only help.
Accumulator now available, so it scans faster. Only some of them are functional. The functional ones, while usable, cannot be moved or picked up. This is one of those high velocity or high voltage cable. What am I saying? Velocity. So the cable I just scanned there and this are part of the power transmission system that you can do between foundations. Get more foundations.
If anyone else is still around, they wouldn't be here. These places were pretty much built and left alone.
Alright. Mole Speed 2 tech unlock. Hover pack unlock. And this terminal here is basically just a little story thing.
This sector was a dream come true for hydroelectric power. It isn't surprising that we took accumulator construction seriously down here. I faintly remember power sources in other sectors that were even stronger, but they also tended to do things like explode, set things on fire, create giant clouds of poison. You get the drift. You can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned river.
Scan the cable fragments. There we go. We got high voltage cable opened. Now there is one thing I have to do before we go to that waypoint. And that is actually to place these things down. Because I've got to unlock the crank generator. Misplaced that. It is a bit easy to do that in this game. Of course, it didn't help that I was going fast, but you know. So, crank generator.
Task inbound. Crank generator. Activate with manual or automated rotation to produce electricity.
We'll need several of those down the line, so I'll just make them now. Now we're going to make our way over to that waypoint. Now this is where you get the second layer, or a second version of the Kindlevine. Shiverthorn. This is used to make coolant. And you need that for a bunch of different crafts. Now these were meant to lead you towards the waypoint, but I already know where it is, so I'm just going to pick these up. As I came
I'll
a
bet
different
Victor
way.
intentionally chose to give us that RH signal on your HUD because it'll lead us toward making the Kindlevine stems it wants to chew on for self-repair. These production terminals, a big bunch of babies.
A lot of Kindlevine. Alright, that's enough of that. Back to our mission. The side mission of scanning all the things. This is pretty much our destination. If you notice on the map, this is where we're going. So we kind of need to break in through here. So about there. Read it again. Hate doing that. It really slows you down. Go. Get another pipe to scan. Bit of research. Oh. It gives you a crank generator. That is also new. So more or less, you gotta put the generator down. Activate it.
Power restored.
After that, you can pick it up.
Jackpot.
They've
A
shifted
warehouse.
this
I
around
knew
a
that
lot
gigantic door
too.
was a good sign. Scan this place for some basic electrical machines, especially those planters and threshers on the racks, and pick up anything else you can find.
Okay, more threshers. You know, they've changed the look of that machine. Yeah, more's changed than I thought.
Lots of good tech fragments here, but I doubt we'll find anyone to rescue. People will take what they needed and get back out there.
Pretty sure these are empty, yeah. from this side still. Ton of stuff to scan in here. This is one of the other materials I was mentioning, Atlantum ingots. So there's an Atlantum ore. It's basically just a space ore. Remember, there was another chest over here. You can have that.
Mold temperature calibrated. Auto injection of coolant standing by.
Gonna go up here.
Task inbound. Supply facility access door with self-repair materials.
Look through the window, Breaker. I can literally see the mining charge tech fragment on that table. What kind of miserable bureaucrat puts high explosives behind a securely locked door? You think we would be here if we didn't know what we were doing? I want you to fix that door as soon as possible. I want you to blow things up.
Facility access door
Quite
unavailable.
aggressive, isn't she?
Refer to display panel for self-repair requirements.
You can head up that way to explore if you want, Breaker, but you definitely have everything you need for now.
She is right. I was actually going to mention that.
Task inbound. Accumulator. Stores electrical power for delayed distribution.
It's not just delayed distribution. Some of the research materials actually require a set amount of stored power later in the game. So you have to have a large setup of those in order to
Now that we have planters
meet
and
those
smelters, you'll want to start building them on power floors as soon as possible. And don't forget to build a few crank generators on the same floors to get them going.
I will say this, however, wasn't planning to do this tonight. I was actually planning to do a demo, but unfortunately I didn't get to the demo before they removed it. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm actually going to switch over to Space Engineers, I think. In fact, I'm probably going to be switching over to Space Engineers here very soon. In fact, like right now. This is just kind of like the early introduction to the game, to get you started, get you to the first area to where you can actually access this and get off on your research. So I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna take a short break, and I'm gonna start up again in Space Engineers.